two of the bigger disappointments in the first quarter of the season doing battle here as we get this one underway. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Rashawn Melvin. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Here's Carr to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Now, following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. Now they'll run on the draw. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
On 3rd and long, it's Carr. And this is going to be incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. The Dolphins offense now ready to go back out onto the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one.
Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. Finding some room at midfield. And he'll get this down to the 39-yard line. A big hitter there, a 1st down gain of 26 yards.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. And he'll be brought down just outside of the 30. Just what you want on a 1st down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they are able to stop him, but he does take it all the way to the 2. He got 29 yards that time. So 3 plays, already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on 1st and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. But, Brandon, This is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls. They were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He dumps it off to Drake. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 5 yards that time on the completion. And now it's 3rd and goal. He felt the pressure coming there. That was a good job of just making something out of nothing, so to speak.
Yeah, took the hit and still made the play. You know, when we talk about runners, all right, and on running plays, runs after contact, we call that getting dirty yards, tough, gritty ones. To me, that's like the version of a dirty pass. He knows he's going to get smacked, yet still delivers the football and picks up good yardage.
So that's going to move him half the distance.
First of all, you can't jump in this situation, but think about your play calling now. Could easily change what you want to do and maybe make things a little bit easier.
They're going to look to throw. And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. As his guys are in for 6. And the Dolphins are going to take a first-quarter lead. So it goes for a rookie quarterback. He had the INT earlier in this first half, but he bounces back with a touchdown pass.
And you have to like the mental acumen, the toughness, the fortitude of him, because oftentimes for a rookie, you throw an interception early, you're taken right out of the game, or mentally you check out a little bit. Give him a lot of credit for bouncing back.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On first down, Carr. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. It'll be a loss of 1, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Throw. Going with a screen for Murray. Oh, look at the string.
No.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 49-yard line. To throw is Carr. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Rashad Jones. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
56. Lucky 56.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes in bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger game. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
He lost 2 there, and it's third down.
They threw the screen to the perimeter, but to no benefit at all. Tackled behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of yardage.
The last catch took him 2 yards in the wrong direction, so now what can they do on third? He'll look to throw. Escaping and a big loss here as he's taken down. Bruce Irvin able to track him down for a loss of 13, and it'll bring up fourth down. Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Second quarter begins with the Dolphins in possession of the football, but likely not for long as they're in punt formation to kick it away. On fourth down, Matt Hawk to punt it away. Back deep for the Raiders, Jalen Richard. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now. And I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try to move the football.
Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And able to get it here to about the 16-yard line. They'll get a couple yards on that one, and it'll be a second down. Shotgun now for Carr. And this one hauled in by Will Tye. And he works it across the 25 before being tackled. His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball.
And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Raekwon McMillan. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to float this one deep right side. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Corey Coleman, his first touchdown on the year. And the Raiders, they're within an extra point of tying this thing up. Extra point attempt here still to come. And it's no good. He misses the extra point, and this remains a 7-6 game. So we're back to a 1-point game now as the kickoff comes. Jakeem Grant now to return. And some room to work. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. That's caught by his big tight end, Mike Gesicki. It'll be a gain of 10 to start the drive out, and by a few inches, that'll be a 1st down. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
On 1st down, Drake. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. The gun. They'll look to throw. That's complete to Darboh. And he's got this to the 30 before being taken down. 23 yards on the play.
Quarterbacks love slant routes because the receivers are breaking right into their line of vision, and receivers love them as well because they're getting the ball on the move and able to catch it and try and get upfield and gain additional yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 30-yard line. They'll set up to throw. He's got that one complete to Darboh. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line. And they just keep marching right along. 1st down on a pickup of 8 there.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Looking to throw. It's complete to Drake. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Give him 7 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And that one, my goodness, that was almost too easy.
Yeah, and you're not going to have too many attempts shorter than that one. I don't think anyone got a finger on it. That's about as bad a miss as you can have.
Carr and the Raiders come up 1st and 10 at the 20.
Cover 0.
Now Carr. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And this one will go to the 28-yard line.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On the crossing route, he hits his man, Amari Cooper. And all the way in. Touchdown, Oakland. Amari Cooper, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders are able to strike quickly for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
They'll come out throwing here on first down. Over the middle, it's complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Oakland after this. They'll look to throw here on first down. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Back to throw now on first down. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are in for 6. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Yeah, you're so right, because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
The point after is good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now the Oakland offense heading back onto the field to take over. They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Carr now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now Carr with a give to Murray. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The Raiders try to move quickly, try to get everybody back to the line. Now Carr. And he's going to be out of bounds down around the 35-yard line. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
From the gun now on 3rd down, Carr. And that is incomplete. Xavier Howard with a good coverage that time as he was there and knocked it away.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on 3rd down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a 4th down decision.
And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Oh, there's that man again. It's complete. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
They'll set up a throw. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field, and nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away, and it's 2nd down. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And this is incomplete. The intended receiver was Jakeem Grant. And that'll make it 3rd down. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it, it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
The Dolphins on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Now back to throw. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. And now we won't see a play on 1st down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. This quarterback now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Back to throw here. Flush to his right. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. And his kick is indeed good. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is fielded at the goal line. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they're going to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter.
All right, get set, fellas.
Carr turns, hands to Murray. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. A gain of 3, second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Single, one day, down.
Carr to throw on second down. And he finds a man with a crossing route. That goes for a gain of 31.
Now, that play will end up on the highlights, and you'll see it all over the place. But what you won't see, the offensive line that bought the extra time, that allowed for the big completion downfield, those guys made that play possible.
Now a play fake here on first down. This is caught. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. They come out here in the eye. Now they'll run. Murray. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
And that's going to be caught for a Raider touchdown. Third touchdown pass now for Derek Carr. And the Raiders are able to cash in for 6. Sometimes those tight ends are a mismatch. They found the mismatch there.
And that's exactly why you want to draw up those types of plays, because coverage is just going to go to the natural guys, the guys that make the big plays on the outside. But if you work your tight end into it, that's a tough one for a defense to handle.
Tough. They couldn't handle it. It worked out for 6. Carr now to throw. And he's got it. The try for 2 is successful, and it pushes the lead up to a field goal. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Dolphins now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively, because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's third down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The Dolphins on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. They'll look to throw here. It's complete to Grant. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on third down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. On the give, this is Drake. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bruce Irvin in there to pick up his 2nd sack now of the afternoon. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Raiders offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. They'll try again from the 20 on 2nd and 10. That was 2nd down run for Murray. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a 1st down as well.
All right, it's football 101 to know that the quarterback controls just about everything on offense, but a lot of times what gets missed is that the center controls line play. He has to communicate to the guards and the tackles what type of front they're facing, how they're going to block it, and what adjustments need to be made sometimes on the fly as a defense will shift.
And he will not get away from the pressure here. Carr taken down.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game, but this player, disruptive in all phases, whether he's going upfield, coming underneath, you name it. He's a big-time guy you have to block.
On 2nd down, here's Carr. Trying to lay one up deep. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
I remember a coach telling me a long time ago the difference between playing corner and safety in the NFL. Corner is like the Autobahn. Everybody just flying by, and these corners have been really busy in this game, although they got it done on the last play.
On the last play, yes, but there have been some good numbers put up against them offensively. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. shotgun now for Carr. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Raekwon McMillan coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here now, Johnny Townsend, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. This is taken at the 23. Just a yard return there after a punt of 49. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Back 99 Philly, here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. He's at the 50, the 30. And he's going to have this down deep into Oakland territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 57 yards. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. So the field flips here as they'll go to work at the 20 now on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Mike Gesicki, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. Now for the point after. The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Raiders offense now, they trot back out and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win 1st down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating 1st downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
He's going to sling this deep downfield. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. They go play action for Murray. Now Carr. And his throw is incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Coleman has it here right side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He's now just 3 yards shy of 197 yards receiving on the contest and a 1st down. Throwing on 1st down is Carr. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. On play action, it's Carr. He's going to air one out. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Sure, that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
Carr looking to throw on 3rd and 2. And he's got Multi complete. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. That'll put him at 95 receiving yards now as he's got a first down. So now 1st and 10 as they've crossed into Miami territory at the 45-yard line. Now Carr going to give it to Murray on a draw play. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently. The throw to the left side, caught by Coleman. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. That, I believe, will put him over 100 yards receiving for the game. Yes, it will. And he's got a first down to boot. Carr now on first down. And that's incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 34, they'll come to the line on 2nd and 10. Back to the air on 2nd down. It's Carr. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. It was a safety, Rashad Jones, that time, who was able to break up the play.
If you're a defender, one of the fun things about playing zone defenses, especially in today's football, is that it's not as static as it was in the good old days, meaning you just drop to a point and react into the football. Now you end up with a lot of man-to-man principles once you get into your zone defense. In other words, get to your assignment and then locate a guy coming into your area, and then you end up covering him almost man for man.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And nothing but daylight ahead. And he will bring this all the way back out to midfield.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. And Stills over the middle. Down the numbers. There he goes. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Kenny Stills, his first touchdown on the year. And thanks to the interception, the Dolphins offense cashes in with 6. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Point after, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Raiders. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished up,
the Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. He just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. From the gun, it's Carr. Over the middle, it's Jared Cook. Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. The Raiders on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Now Carr. And he'll have his man. That's Cooper. And now spinning away. There he goes, Amari Cooper. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Amari Cooper, 78 yards. And the Raiders are back within a score. And now the Raiders will face an important 2-point conversion attempt here. To throw, it's Carr. And that is incomplete. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a 2-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They go play action here on first down. That's complete to Darbo. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now a stoppage here as it looks like we've got a Dolphin shaken up on the play. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Now a handoff for Drake. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. And now right out of the 2-minute break, we'll get a timeout used defensively with 1:56 to go. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. That one looks like he'll throw here. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Running, it's Drake. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a 3rd down and long. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late 4th quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on 3rd?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Dolphins on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They'll look to throw. He goes underneath the Drake. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a 4th down.
That's certainly playing down in distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, this will be a 52-yard attempt. And with a play clock at 3, we'll get a signal and a timeout on the whistle. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. Here's Matt Hawk now, standing right around the midfield stripe. He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And now Oakland ready to take the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring, and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over. Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Miami, they move a step closer to 500 as their record improves to 2-3. And they'll have another road date next week with the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Oakland, they'll fall to 1-4.